Hey all, Sparky here. Got some extra time, so we're gonna do another video. Maybe, maybe. So I want to talk a little bit about because I've been dancing around the subject for all my videos and all my podcasts about elementals, and a lot of people they're into them. They want to research them, which is really cool. Uh, my take might be a little bit off of some accounts that have been written. Uh, if you look at some of the books you've read and stuff like that, and I would say when you get information like this, look at where it's coming from. If you have a paranormal person writing about elementals, it's going to be different than if you have a Christian priest reading or writing about paranormals, or if you have somebody who's a druid talking about elementals. There's a lot of different perspectives, and a lot of it is how they're encountered or the misidentification of thinking it's an elemental or not. So, one of the big things is like people say is like, I think I have an elemental here. I'm like, well, why do you think that? And they go into like, it's paranormal stuff. And I'm like, so why do you think it's an elemental? Well, they saw something that looked weird uh, or abnormal, and they had stuff going on. I'm like, okay, yeah, but there's a billion different nature entities, spirits, and stuff that can do that. The one thing I got to say, if you are actually around elemental, if you've ever been into like a powerhouse or like a building where they have a whole bunch of transformers, the bottom of a dam where they have all the turbines running, the static electricity in there is odd. It's not just like you get it on your hands. It's like it feels odd. Like the power in the room you can feel. It's very almost disturbing how it feels. Uh, Elementals are a lot like that because they are extremely old. They are extremely powerful. Don't get me wrong, but they really don't give a shit about us for the most part. They don't like us when we're ruining their area. But if you are around one, you won't get the ghost chills. You won't get that little hairs, static electricity hairs on your arm. It'll be a lot more than that. Like a lot more. Like you will have that plus in your core, like energy just rolling, and you will want to run. I mean, it's a fight and flight thing because it's something that you probably have not felt. It's the same way with like super like the rarity dark entities. When you get around them, it's you have to make your mind up. Like I'm not moving because you're gonna want to move. You're gonna want to move so bad it's gonna be retarded. Like every bone in your body is gonna say run. But that being said, most of them don't care. Most of them do not give a shit. And why, in their name, elementals, they kind of go with the elements. There are few, and I'm not going to say the names, that roam. They don't have like a home. Most elementals pick a spot. If it's a piece of land, a river, a spring is a big one. Straight out of the mountain kind of thing. Places where, how do I say that? In plains where you have wind that comes across a big area, like freely all the time, there. In all these places I'm talking about, you'll find more orbs. You'll find all the vegetation is greener. You'll find more noises when you go out there. More evidence of like fairy folk, spirits, what have you, Bigfoot. All these places like it because it's harmonious. It's those areas are balanced all the time, and that's their home. And so when we walk into them, and Asnucks are throwing wrappers on the ground, to us, we're like ants because they are so old. We are like not even babies. We're beyond. We're like fetuses that are so dumb that we go over and we ruin their land, we ruin their water, we cut down the trees for no good reason. These kind of entities are very distinct of when they get upset. Usually you have to either insult them directly, you have to insult something that they have in high regard, which are other entities, spirits, what have you there, can piss them off. Or if you treat their home like crap, those are usually the biggies that piss off an entity, like an elemental. Now, they're also, when they get pissed, they can lash out. They can take a lot of different forms to scare you off. They can make noises. They can make lights. They can make. Like I said, they are very. They have a whole bunch of energy because they draw straight off Mother Earth. So they are very old and they have a lot to draw from. Now, if you actually piss off them, sometimes it's because you pissed off what you did at their home. Most of the time, that's more like immediate repercussions and like maybe a day or two afterwards, and they're like, I'm done with you, you little shit, and I'm moving on. If you piss one off personally, elementals are one of the few, they're not the only, but they're one of the few entities that will hook onto you and say, I'm going to teach you and your whole family a lesson. So they hook on to you. So if they hook onto a male, usually they go down the male side. If they hook onto a female, usually they go down the female side. And so when you die or they're tired of you, they go to your daughter, granddaughter. They don't stop until you have somebody to stop them. Now, that sounds horrid, but you got to understand, they're very pissed off. And they're like, you guys have dealt with stuff that you should not have dealt with, and you pissed me off. If you think you did that, I would suggest reach out to anybody that you have in your own religion. It's one of the important ones, and see if they can help you get rid of it. If you can't do that, I would then go to somebody who deals with nature spirits a lot. Go to elders in Native American. Go to shamans. Go to old world priest, stuff like that. If what happens doesn't fix it, it can be resolved. And usually it's just making amends. It's saying, I'm sorry. And doing something, giving usually back to the land, back to the water, what have you, to make an amends for that. And usually at that point, you're good. And normally it doesn't have to go any farther than that. That's why I'm always like here on elementals, because there's a lot about elementals that like I can't say. Just like older priests, just like Native Americans, just like a lot of religious groups, they don't talk about a lot on the very back end of the big deities like elementals, or entities, I should say, not deities, entities, elementals and dark spirits and stuff that are that big. Because if you get that far, if I just freely give you information, you could actually hurt yourself with it instead of helping yourself with it. And some jackass is going to go, well, he taught me how to actually contact this thing, so I'm just going to screw with it, because they think nothing's going to happen because they don't really believe. And then you have a lot of shit happening. So I do try to walk a fine line of what I can say, what I can't say. And honestly, if you talk to a lot of other people that deal with the high end spiritual realm, they will actually talk in code, kind of like encrypted kind of thing. Like, what are you saying? I'm like, I can't say it, but just do this. Elementals are a weird thing. They are a very weird thing. That's like, I tell people, it's like it's pissing off ET, like a UFO. It's like, how are you going to deal with that? You know, if one comes down, you shoot one. It's like the other's going to be pissed off. How are you going to deal with that? They're higher advanced than us. They have more knowledge than us. It's like, how are you going to stop them? Elementals and the darker old ones, if you will, if I can just label them all as that, are the same way. So everybody wants to know about elementals. It's like, just know it's like they're there. They're around the major nice nature areas, springs, rivers, plains, mountains. You'll usually have like a really crazy growth in that area for plants, berries, trees. You'll have more evidence of fairy folk. You have more evidence of spirits. You'll have more evidence of Bigfoot, all sorts of stuff, because it's a safe spot for them. Because they have a big guy saying, I'm taking care of this place. So my best advice is, know what they are. Know if you get in an area, that feeling I told you about, back the fuck up and get away. And leave something down. Leave a gift saying, I'm sorry I got in your area, whether it be tobacco, food, liquor, flowers, spices, cookies. You can use a lot. They understand what you're doing. Just say, I'm sorry I got in your area, until you are welcome in that area. Because when you're welcome, you won't feel that anymore. You'll feel the high energy, but you won't feel that run anymore. And that's the big one. If you feel that run, you need to move. But know what they are. Realize what they are. Don't fuck with them. Please. I've had a couple this last year. I had help a gal with the elemental. I had help a guy decided he was going to try to use that to sick a couple on somebody else. Don't do that. You guys that want to actually play with magic and fucking old school shit, don't do curses, because some of the ones you don't understand, actually call them. And when you deal with somebody who knows what's going on, they're going to send it back to you. And now you have a pissed off dude coming right back to you. So just don't do any of that kind of crap. Don't do negative shit. It always comes back at you fivefold. But anyways, yeah, elementals. Very odd, very weird entity. One of the worst ones you can actually piss off, in my opinion. Those could be worse than the darker spirits. Even though elementals are not dark, they're not good. They're just neutral, their own thing, kind of thing. But if you piss them off, you're taking on a shitload of like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years of knowledge of how to screw with somebody. So just leave them alone. Leave them alone. That's the biggest part. If you interact, keep them present, say thank you, move on. Okay? Any direct questions about elementals, you can throw them down below. I might not be able to answer them, and if I can't, I'm just going to say I'm not gonna. because I don't want some knowledge out there. That's for people that actually want to get into that realm, and they need to learn the knowledge and why that knowledge is and all the ramifications that go around that knowledge. So if you use that knowledge, what could possibly happen, good, bad, or medium? So I might not be able to answer everything, but I will try to answer most. Everybody have a good one. Remember, get out there, research, be honest, and have fun, because that's what we like to do. Catch you guys later.